Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Jess with Love to Plan with Jess. And today we're going to talk a little bit about my 2026 planner lineup. So it is a little bit early. I'm actually filming this on September 29th. So it's not even October yet. You will see this video sometime in October. I am not exactly sure where on my schedule it's going to fall, but you'll see this video sometime in October. And while it is early still, I do have a pretty good idea of what my 2026 planner lineup will look like. Now there might be some tweaks and changes, and by the time you see my finalized lineup and my planner setup video in December, things might look a little bit different, but I think that I have it pretty much nailed down. So there are a lot of things that aren't going to change in my lineup from 2025 to 2026 because a lot of my planners are working for me, which is great. So let's first talk a little bit about the planners that aren't going to change. So the first planner that is not going to be changing for 2026 is my catch-all. I am using a Happy Planner vertical layout for my catch-all planner. This year, I've always used a Happy Planner vertical layout for my catch-all, and I really love it. I really love decorating the vertical, and so that is not going to change. I'm going to continue using that planner in 2026. Another planner that won't be changing is one of my journals. So if you watch my videos and you've seen my journal videos, you might know that I decorate two spreads in those videos. I decorate a Happy Planner vertical layout, and then I also decorate a Happy Planner dot grid. And while I was really enjoying using both for like the first half of the year, I've found the last couple of months that I haven't really been utilizing the dot grid journal as much. I don't really have as much to write in there, and sometimes I find that I'm either not writing in it at all or kind of duplicating what I'm putting in there and my vertical layout. So the dot grid journal will still be making an appearance, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video for things that are changing, but we are still keeping the vertical layout. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using a Happy Planner vertical or a Kelva Plan vertical layout, but definitely will be using a vertical for my journal. I also am a little undecided. I've been toying with the idea of using 1 month a vertical layout and the next month using just like plain pages. So like completely blank pages and decorating them and putting boxes in them. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing that where it'll be alternating 1 month of vertical layout and 1 month just like plain pages, or if it will be 12 months of a vertical layout, but I still will be using that type of planner for my journal. Another planner that won't be changing is my wellness planner. So right now I'm using a Kelva Plan dashboard, and the beginning of the year, in the beginning of 2025, I was using a Happy Planner Simply layout where I had the Simply layout on one side and then a plain dot grid page on the other. And a couple of months ago, I switched to using some undated pages from the Kelva Plan dashboard. I love the Kelva Plan dashboard. It's set up just the way that I want with a plain dot grid page on one side and then the dashboard on the other. And so that's what I'll be using for my wellness planner for 2026. Another planner that definitely won't be changing is my social media planner. So for my social media planner, I use a Happy Planner monthly layout. And this is probably my favorite planner to decorate. I love decorating this one. There's so much space in it that I can use. It has all the function that I need and then a ton of space that I can use for decor. And so I really, really love this planner. It's been working great for me, and that one is going to be sticking around. Now, I realize that as I'm talking about these planners, I might try and insert pictures of what these layouts look like in case you're not familiar with all of them. So I'll try to do that when I'm editing the video. The next planner that I'm going to be using in 2026, and I started using this in probably August of 2025, is the Live Love Posh Weekly Overview. I really like this planner a lot, and this I call my family planner. I wanted a place to be able to put my son's schedule. He's in middle school now. He just started middle school in August, and so they have A and B days, and then between that and extracurricular activities and just keeping track of all of his like classes and things, and then just like any major things that we have going on with our family. I wanted a place to be able to keep that so that everybody can see it. So I fill that one out and I keep it on my refrigerator so that the whole family can see it. And that's been working really well for the last couple of months. And so I plan to keep that for 2026. Another planner that I have been using and it's really been working for me is the horizontal layout for my work planner. So right now I'm using a Happy Planner horizontal layout. Next year I'll be switching to a Kelva Plan horizontal layout. Happy Planner recently changed, I believe in 2025, they changed their layout so that there is a like a to-do list in a column on like the right side of the page. There's a full to-do list. And the Kelva Plan horizontal is just like a section of horizontal lines. And I think that I'm going to like that a little bit better than having that kind of predefined to-do list. So I will still be using a horizontal layout for my work planner, but instead of using the Happy Planner version, I'll be using a Kelva Plan. All right, I think that we touched on all the things that are going to be staying the same. Now, things that will be changing for 2026, and there aren't very many of them. One of them is my goal planner. So for 2025, I started using a Laurel Denise portrait planner, and I really love this planner. It's a great planner, and I actually think that it would make a great catch-all, this Laurel Denise portrait planner. I think would make a really good catch-all planner. But I found that, and I don't know if it's because I use a disbound system, and so I have all of my planners like frankenplanned into one. They sit on my desk, and so when I go to open my planner, like all of my planners are there in front of me. But with the Laurel Denise, it's like a separate spiral bound notebook, and it's rather big. It's like a big size, like an 8.5 by 11 size. And so I don't keep that one on my desk, and I found that I'm not really reaching for it and I'm not using it as much as I should. And I have kind of been putting goals into like my other planners. So in my wellness planner, I'll have my wellness goals, and in my social media planner, I'll have my social media goals and things like that. So I don't think I'm gonna need a separate goal planner for 2026. So we are going to start the year off without one, and we'll see how it goes. The next change that I'll be making is to my reading journal. So right now I'm using a kind of like a hodgepodge of a reading journal. I am using a disbound system for that, and I have some like reading review pages in there, and then just a bunch of different like trackers and things. I'm using the Happy Planner, Happy Plans and Notes for that one, for like the currently page and the monthly page, and then as I mentioned, just a bunch of other sheets that I've kind of created myself and put in there for trackers. And for next year, I am going to try using like a bullet journal style for my reading journal. I have seen some other folks do this, and I kind of like the idea of it. I want to kind of simplify my reading journal a little bit. And so that is going to be the plan for 2026, where I won't have like a disbound planner for my reading journal anymore. It will be in like dot grid style journal. I have quite a few options for bullet journals right now, or for dot grid journals, and not sure which one I'm going to use for my reading journal. I do have some Happy Planner ones. I also have a couple of Archer and Olive journals, and then these products have not released yet by the time when I'm filming this video, but by the time you watch it, they will have already released. So I'm able to talk about them. Live Love Posh is coming out with some A5 dot grid journals, and I don't have them in hand yet, but I have seen photos and a quick video of them online, and they're gorgeous, and I'm super excited to get one of those. So I may be using that for my reading journal. Not 100% sure yet. I definitely will be using that next year though. So it will either be for my reading journal, or it will be for the other planner that is going to be changing for 2026. And that is the dot grid journal that I was using. I'm gonna make that now a junk journal. And I'm super excited about this. I've never done a junk journal before. I know I've seen a few creators that have been starting to play around with junk journaling that I watch on YouTube. And I am just super, super excited. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be kind of a combo with my vertical layout journal, kind of how I've been doing all year for 2025, where I decorate my vertical layout, and then I'll also be decorating like a junk journal, creative journal type spread. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a combined video like it was for 2025, or if I'm going to split them out. I would like to keep them together, but I also feel like it's going to be a really long video if they're together because the junk journal is going to take a little bit of time, especially in the beginning when I'm, brand new to it. But my thoughts here are that I would take like different scrapbook paper, definitely still using some stickers, and then just collecting things throughout the week. I don't know, different receipts and different like junk and mementos that I collect throughout the week, and then putting them into like a junk journal style creative journal planner. I don't want to call it a junk journal because I don't know really very much about the junk journaling world quite yet. And so I don't know if I'm going to be kind of fitting that box, but I am really, really excited for it. So that is probably the change that I'm most excited about for 2026. So that is about it for my thoughts on my 2026 planner lineup. Let me know in the comments if you have started thinking about your 2026 lineup and maybe what changes you're planning on making, if any. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.